Guys, we're trying to find the lowest common denominator for these two rational expressions, right? So the first one is 4 over 15, a to the third times b to the second. And the second one is 14 over 25 times a times b to the third power, all right? So we want to focus only on the denominators, correct? The bottom expressions. So the first one is 15, a to the third, b to the second. So what is this? This is a monomial, meaning one term. Okay, that's a monomial, one term. Can we factor it? No. All right, so it's just 15, a third, b second power. Now, when we take the second one, 25, a, b to the third, that's also a monomial. Can we factor it? No. All right, so we got to find the lowest common denominator for the numbers separately from finding the lowest common denominator for the variables, then we put them together. All right? So we work like that so that, our life can be easier. So we're talking about 15 that we need to break down. All right? So we break it down as what? 3 by 5. All right? So it's just 3 by 5, and that's it. We cannot go further than that. So those are the two factors that we can get out of 15. All right? 1, but we don't need 1. Okay? So now we take 25. 25 can be broken down as what? 5 times 5. Okay? And then also here we can get 1, but we don't need 1. All right? So 5 by 5, 3 by 5. So now if we're trying to find the lowest common denominator for these two, only for the two numbers, right? So that we see where we are. So now we're going to collect the different factors. 3 is one factor. 5 is the other one. Okay, those are the only two. How many times do we have 3 here? Once. How many times here? 0 times. So we're going to take 3 once. That's it for 3. All right, when it comes to 5, how many times do we have 5 here? Once. How many times do we have 5 here? Twice. Okay, so that means we're going to take 5 twice because we do not add these 3 and then say we have 5 one time, second time and third time, and then say we have 5 3 times. No. Whatever we have it the highest time in one of the denominator, that's what we take. So twice here, once here, whichever is higher, that's what we take. So we go twice. So that'll be 5 twice. Okay? Then we can multiply them up together, right? So 3 by 5 is 15. All right? And then 15 times 5, 5, 5, 25, 5, 1 is 5. That gives us 75, okay? So 75 is the lowest common denominator when it comes to 15 and 25. That means that's the smallest number that can divide 15 and 25 evenly. That's what it means, okay? So once we get 25 now, do not forget, we're dealing with A3, B second for the first fraction. And for the second one, we're dealing with 25, a, b to the third. Now, for those, it's easy. So our final lowest common denominator is going to be what? It's going to be 75 for the numbers. Right? Now, for the variables, it's easier. We have a3, and then we have a to the first power. Whichever is higher, that's the one which is going to be the lowest common denominator. Why? Because if you take a third divided by a 1, you get a second, right? So a power 3, a power 3 divided by a power 1, 1, okay? So now 2 is a to the second, all right? So that means a power 1 can go into a to the third power, all right? So it's going to be a to the third, all right? And then when it comes to b, we have b to the second and b to the third. Whichever is higher is your lowest common denominator. So it's going to be b3. Because again, if you take b3, b3 can divide itself once and can divide b2, b power 1. Okay? So what I meant by that is if you take b3 divided by b3, of course it's going to give you 1. Okay? And then if you take b3 divided by b2 is going to give us what? b1. Because remember, you subtract the powers. 3 minus 2 is 1. So it's just b or b power 1. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, we are just finished with the lowest common denominator here. Okay? It's not difficult. But that's the most important part, one of the most important part when you're adding and subtracting two fractions. That's the reason why we take our time to understand that. Go step by step, okay? Do it again, repeat. Now let's go here. So that's 6 over 7m to m times n to the fifth power, and 3 over 7m to the third times n to the third power. All right? So that means we're dealing with the denominators only. So I'm collecting them out. 7m, n to the fifth. 7m, 3, and 3, n power 3. Okay? So when it comes to the numbers, 7 and 7, there is no game there. All right? So your lowest common denominator is just going to be 7. All right? So the LCD for the numbers is going to be 7. All right? So we carry that. We're not finished because remember, we got to do it also for the variables. Now, for the variables in these cases, because again we have monomials, one term, it's easier. So 7 is back. Now when it comes to m is power 1, correct? So we're dealing with m power 1 and then m power 3. So whichever is higher, that'll be our lowest common denominator. So m power 3 is higher than m1, so straight up. All right? Then we go with the n, n5 and n3. Whichever is higher, that's the one we pick. So n5 is higher, that's the one we pick. So ladies and gentlemen, the lowest common denominator in this case is 7 times m to the third times n to the fifth, and then you are finished. All right? So this is it. Do it again, step by step, and then you're going to be fine.